You need to know that whatever your financial future holds, your bank will be there to provide practical support. As a community bank, BNC National Bank will be there for whatever you need in the long haul. Reach out to our team today to learn more about how we're able to help you succeed. Member FDIC.
You've worked hard, saved well, and invested wisely. Whether it's paying for a child's education, taking the family trip you've dreamed of, giving back to the community, or funding a confident retirement, we can help you reach your goals. We are passionate about helping you make smart decisions about your spending and saving so you can feel confident about the future while enjoying life today. Together, we can design a personalized plan that takes into account your short and long-term needs and wants, but is flexible enough to adjust as your life changes.
In times of loss, ServPro brings hope. With expertise in Minot and Bismarck, we don't just restore homes, we rebuild lives.
Nobody thinks about personal injury until it happens. But when injury strikes, so will your bills and the turmoil and everything you'll miss out on. It's a mess and you need someone to help it all make sense. That someone is Schweigert, Clemene, and McBride. We know the territory and the process, and we work smart and hard to get you results. It's easier to get back to normal knowing there's a team behind you. We're the ones the other side doesn't want you to call. We're on your side. We're Schweigert, Clemene, and McBride.
Jersey Mike's slices your sub right in front of you, see? The slicer, the meat and cheese, it has a rhythm.
This is the rhythm of the slice, oh yeah. The rhythm of the slice, this is the rhythm of the slice, oh yeah.
Order for Danny?
Sliced right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing, a sub above.
Hey, happy Friday to everybody watching. Thank you for tuning in to our first ever PSP Primetime right here on PSP Network. My name is Dallas Sanson, joined alongside the great and the powerful Bryce Gutnick. Thank you for joining us today. What a night of hoops we had. Thursday night did not disappoint. We saw a game winner. We saw a 1 seed look fantastic in the Minot High girls. And then some games that I don't think even some of the best experts could have called. Bryce, you and I sat through a couple good ones. It was fun during the Legacy game because we're sitting there calling the Legacy girls, and we hear their crowd erupt, and they're watching the boys' game on PSP Plus in the corner of the stadium. How has that ever happened to you at the WDA where you had a crowd erupt that looked watching a game that wasn't even there live?
There was a slight confusion look on my face, and then I look up at the monitor, see the crowd going crazy over here in this arena, the game winner, the buzzer beater. Then that whole the flow coming over to finish watching the girls. They were excited. The girls were victorious in their matchup. So just the buzz that is the WDA tournament. We had it on day one. I'm not like a guarantee guy.
Right.
I'm not, but we're going to have some noise again today.
Another thing we were touching on yesterday, us as a group here at PSP, there was something very spectacular about the WDA tournament and the amount of momentum that seems to be gathered up in this building. The anticipation builds. No matter if you're in this stadium with the main court or if you're in the exhibit hall, there's so much going on because we saw yesterday a fantastic Williston girls high school team that has not made it here in a long time, 5 years. They get to finally dance. They were so jazzed up. They come out, didn't play as expected. They end up losing. But you get those stories like that that make it so much fun.
Yeah, they were so excited to be here. It was a really tough matchup.
Yeah.
Legacy.
The worst draw for
Yeah, it really was. You get that length in that 2-3 zone. They're extending it. causing havoc for a lot of things that Williston does well. But Williston played tough that second half. We're very competitive, a lot to like if you're Coach Broughton with your first day effort.
And then how about Mandan? Gray Bull was drinking the Red Bull. I mean, a fantastic job she did. She ended up getting our Sports Clips MVP. Your thoughts on Gray Bull?
Mandan, a team I haven't seen play a lot. I'm going to be honest. I watched some film sessions on them and stuff, and Coach Copa's bringing that style game. I think he's going to even elevate it a little more, bring that shoe game. You know, one of the sharpest dressed coaches here. A team, they only shot 14 of 29 from the charity stripe, Dallas. That's something that's going to have to improve today, but the defensive intensity, Zaya Grable has this calmness. I asked her, I'm like, everything's just so deliberate and just in rhythm and everything she did. I'm really hoping she finds a way to get us those couple jerseys I requested to her. Said, hey, Zaya,
I want one too. I need one.
I'm like, what do you think? You know, I seen the McKenna Johnson jerseys. Can we get a couple Zaya Grables? 7 steals, 3 blocks from her. She was terrific last night.
Well, let's take a quick look at that girls bracket, that first game of the day. Number 1, Minot High coming out big and playing well against Jamestown, 74-39. How big was that for Coach Schwartz and Minot High to play that big with all the injuries they've had to come out and show out?
The biggest thing that stands out, it's the continuous work on the rotation. Coach Schwartz, such a sharp guy, very intelligent. You see Stevick getting in the rotation more. You get Vardy into the rotation more. I'm looking for Eve Knutson to be even bigger today in this ball game in the matchup against Century. You got Lily Bell taking care of business, 24 and 16. Oh, by the way, add 3 blocks on top of that, Dallas.
Yeah, and how about the play from just the contributing factors, and now they got 8th graders playing well for them. It's like Schwartz just has this junior high factory, and they keep just getting them out ready to play.
Yeah, like I said, he's continuing to tweak that rotation. He's finding pieces that can instantly contribute off the bench. That's going to be big, not only today, but in the future, because they got big plans on making the state tournament and being successful.
Our second game of the day was the 4 versus the 5 seed. If you're a tournament fan, that is the most intriguing matchup of the day, where it was Bismarck Century playing Bismarck High. The game was tightly contested throughout, but Century kind of powered through late in the second half.
I might say the most impressive thing I might have saw yesterday was the second half effort of the Patriots girls. They were terrific in that second half. They shot 15 of 31. They forced 27 turnovers. Foslin had 7 steals. They had 17 steals as a team. Dallas.
How good was she yesterday? I mean, seriously, those
I think it kind of flew under the radar. That effort by Century and the girls in that second half. They're going to give Minot High Jets all they can handle today in that semifinal.
Yeah, and you and I were standing on the sidelines because Owen Patterson, Chuck Claremont were calling that one, but we kept seeing Foslin, and she didn't hit a few of those where she step through 2 defenders, get right through them, and miss a couple of those bunnies, but then towards like 3 minutes left in the game, she starts getting some and ones and heads to the Serve Pro free throw line for 1 more. After this, we saw the Legacy versus Williston High, a game you and I were on. You got to talk about her, Brooklyn Felkley, fantastic basketball player.
Yeah, she's so patient in the paint. You know, another girl that's really deliberate with what she's doing. Her footwork's phenomenal. Double-digit rebounds for Brooklyn Felkley. Double-digit rebounds for Marley Falcon. I mean, they were terrific. Marley Falcon's game's really evolving. We're going to see her taking the next steps, I think, a little sooner than expected. That 2-3 zone, that big zone look, a lot of length, extending that pressure, a lot to handle when you play the Legacy Sabres.
Oh, then Sadie Holler stepped up as well. But then our nightcap was the 3 seed Mandan playing the 6 seed St. Mary's. St. Mary's, everybody knows, fantastic WDA run last year with Coach Terry. Could they continue it last night? The answer was no. And how about Coach Kopis having his Mandan Braves ready to play?
Yeah, he was another guy kind of tweaking his rotation. He played a lot of girls in that game last night, a lot of contributions. McKenna Johnson didn't really get going offensively.
Right.
But she doesn't let that affect her defense. You got 6 blocks and 13 rebounds. That was huge.
So that brings us to today, BG. Jamestown versus Bismarck. Let's talk about this one. Jamestown looking to rebound after playing the mighty 1 seed. And then you got Bismarck High. Played tough yesterday, but kind of got outworked a little bit there in the second half. Who do you like in Jamestown, Bismarck?
I'm really interested to see Bismarck, see them sustain that effort of the first half. See if he can sustain it for a whole ball game. I like their chances of doing that. The bench was into it the entire time. They brought in energy, but Century was just better yesterday. Just flat out. They competed that second half and pulled away from the Demons. Expect the Demons to bounce back and play a full game effort today.
And this is arguably one of our better games today. Two very similar teams. Williston High School Coyotes versus St. Mary Saints. Similar teams. It feels like St. Mary's got a little more of that senior leadership, if you will. Yeah,
see if Avery Ostrom can continue.
Yeah.
She was terrific offensively, was the focal point for Williston in the offense, and I love Messer. I haven't got to see Messer play a lot.
She's so good.
Yeah, and they, I'm not going to lie, Amanda did a really good job defensively on her in that matchup, but look for her to get going a little more offensively today. Her defense was terrific. That's going to be sneaky one of the games of the day.
Also, our semifinal ones, we've got Minot High versus Century. Oh my, is this going to be must-see TV here tonight on PSP Plus?
Yeah, that rivalry. We know the history of the matchups. At Century this year, Minot was victorious 68-60. At Minot High, the Majets were victorious again, 69-46. Going to be interesting. They always say, Dallas, it's hard to beat a team 3 times in a row.
They do.
Let's see what Coach Schwartz does today, and Coach Wellstead. It's going to be a fun first semifinal.
And then a very intriguing one, Legacy versus Mandan. Brooklyn Felkley's senior year. You got Marley Falcon, an outstanding sophomore. Sadie Holler, outstanding sophomore for Legacy. But Mandan, another great team that's starting to peak at the right time.
Yeah, 2 teams with length. It's going to be interesting to see extending that pressure, like I said, with Legacy and what they do in that zone look. See how many outside shots Mandan's going to settle. I'm really looking forward to see if they get McKenna Johnson going early offensively in that ball game. Get her going, establish her in the post.
Right, Sudik, my friend, thank you for joining us. Appreciate you guys joining us here on our first ever PSP Prime. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, a special guest to discuss the boys' side of things here at the WDA tournament. We'll be right back.
Spas Etc. is excited to introduce the addition of the Master Spas line, including the Michael Phelps Swim Spas. Enjoy the relaxing health benefits and enjoy 0% financing up to 72 months or up to $5,000 off on all spas and swim spas. You'll also find $2,000 off the MSRP on all pools and saunas. Come check out the outstanding lineup of Master Spas at Spas Etc.
We often think of frontiers as pages in a history book, a time gone by. But even in this modern world, there are new frontiers to conquer. Whether you're tending the land to grow a better tomorrow or growing a business for new opportunities, the work you do powers the world. Exploring the frontier means stepping forward, shaping the future for yourself and for those around you. First International Bank and Trust, helping you live first, one step at a time.
Great news! If you're looking for a new vehicle, Ryan Family Dealerships has the best selection we've had in years. You'll find fantastic offers from Nissan, Honda, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
Hold up! Ryan sells Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram?
Yes, we do, and we'd love to sell one to you. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations in Minot and Williston. Get your next vehicle from a name you know and trust. Ryan Family Dealerships.
Here at Centennial Collision and Paint, Chad and I have over 60 years combined experience in the field. Not only are we writing estimates, talking with customers, we're in the shop working alongside of our team members.
I've always had a very strong passion for repairing vehicles. I've been doing it since I've been in high school, and I've always enjoyed seeing the vehicles repaired back to their original conditions.
Thank you for the opportunity to serve the Bismarck-Mandan community for the last 7 years. We look forward to expanding into our new addition to better serve our customers, Centennial Collision and Paint.
When facing disaster, it's not just the things we lose, but the memories. But there's hope. ServPro, with decades of experience in Minot and Bismarck, is always ready. Our certified professionals don't just restore homes, they rebuild lives. Because to us, you're not just a client, you're family.
Hey, welcome back to PSP Plus Primetime Edition. Thank you for joining us. I got with me Chuck Claremont. Chuck, good to see you.
Good to see you, partner.
You had a late night last night.
I did.
Covering a lot of basketball. How you feeling this morning?
I'm feeling great. Fantastic. 3 games. That's nothing, man. We covered 6 in a day before.
I know.
This is like peanuts.
How great is this? Right, we've got the best court in the state right behind us. I mean, this venue is fantastic. You've covered a lot of WDA basketball. How does it feel to be back?
It's great, and this is one of the best venues in the state. You're absolutely right with that perspective, and it is one of the best weeks. I know getting to state and being there, and that's the whole process, but for us guys out west, knowing what the memories, the history that this court and this facility has, it's very special for sure.
Well, you and I are going to be on the call for those first 2. Really looking forward to that. But let's get right into it. Let's talk a little bit about this bracket right now that we're dealing with the boys' side of things. We saw yesterday some interesting games. I mean, when you talk about number 1 Century, we knew what they had. We knew they're the 1 seed. They played well throughout the regular season, but they came out and just showed up. 74-36 final against Jamestown. Your thoughts on that one?
Well, they were actually down. I think 12-11 at one point, went on a 20-0 run, and that's just kind of one of those pieces when you're talking about it where, as we take a look at, one of the replays here where Century's ahead at this point, but Jamestown comes in, gets a nice bucket in this perspective, and Jamestown's right in the game early, and what Century does so well is they're resilient. They go, okay, we're the number 1 team in the state for a reason. A great job inside there. Now Jamestown takes a 2-point lead, and Century, they got to recover. Well, you can see how they recovered.
Yeah.
It went from 12-10 to 38-14, and just a great senior-led team by Drew Kemple, one of the best players in the state of North Dakota, probably will be first or second team All-State. And then when you look at the other guys around him, just such a solid team. Just 1 loss in the season at Bismarck High, and they are going to be a tough out without a question, and just rolled through that first day, 74-36.
Well, how about Kemple going to Minot State? I mean, Beavers making noise as well in the NCAA. Yeah. They're very good.
My partner yesterday, Owen, was so dang excited about Minot State as being a student at Minot State. And just a 19-year-old, but he was talking about what 8th seed in that NISC tournament and going to move on to whatever the national side, so that's pretty special.
Well, then we go down to our game 2, the 4 versus the 5 seed. We talk about this always, the 4 versus the 5. Everybody circles this one as one of the more intriguing matchups. Mandan, Legacy, 2 very similar teams, but Legacy's got that kid named Parker Falcon.
Not a bad player. Speaking of going to Minot State, he's going to be
exactly.
Merkin, Drew Kemple last year, next year, and you take a look at these 2 teams, kind of back and forth throughout the game, and you see Mandan's ahead early on, 16-14, and just got such great passing for their guys inside. Bearstail there with a basket. The 2 Bearstails, Briley and Riley, great players. TJ Brownotter, he can shoot it. He had a really nice game yesterday, and it went down to the wire with these 2 teams. Literally, Legacy was down 74 to 67 or 68 at one point in time, 74-69. They scored the last 7 points of the game. Parker Falcon hits a big 3. I'm going to guess you're going to probably have that at this point. You can see how close the game is right
back
here.
And forth.
Back and forth. I mean, just lots of screaming and yelling. Mandan late in the game here, up 7, and just kind of kept that lead. But Legacy didn't give up. And when you got guys like a Parker Falcon on your basketball team, he's injured. I mean, I was talking to Coach Horner yesterday, and he said, our guys haven't practiced fully together for 7 to 9 days.
Are you kidding me?
No, and so he said between injuries and sickness and you name it, so just kind of hanging in there, and you'll see a shot there where Mandan goes up 74-71. They go down. Falcon hits a huge 3 to tie it, and Mandan's got an opportunity on that piece to score. And instead, they don't. They turn it over, and Brady Riegel goes down the other way in a contested shot at the buzzer between Hudson Sheldon and goes up over the top of him and bears tail and scores that game winner. I mean, what a crazy game. Interviewed Coach Jason Horner after the game. Talk about excited and intensity. He was on another level. I love it as a coach like that. You love playing for guys like that.
March Madness.
He was excited as the kids were for sure.
Okay, then our third game, and this was a very interesting one, 2 versus 7, the new rivalry in AA, and that's Minot High versus Minot North, and Minot North gave them a run for their money.
There's nothing better than playing your rival at any point in time, and you can see Minot North got up for this game without question. They had lost to them a couple times during the season pretty handily, but ultimately Minot North came in. They were in this game the entire basketball game. Just showed these kids played so well. Helm and Blickery and Laban, they really played great, and they were in the game the entire way. Minot, you could see with Minot, they were a little concerned. We watched Winchesky, I know, sitting next to Nick down there in the sidelines, and just kind of watched Coach Winchesky just, how's this going to go? This isn't how it's supposed to go. We're supposed to be winning big on this, but for Minot, having guys like Shell and Winchesky, guys that you can really rely on. Schaefer, they're the guys that came up big down the stretch, and Shell ends up with 19 points, Winchesky 18, and Schaefer with 17 points. But it was a battle down the stretch. I mean, it is close the entire basketball game. You're seeing these highlights where just a 6-point game here where Minot's ahead. And eventually I would probably going to get to a point where Minot is only up 57-56 with under 4 minutes to go. And Minot North is absolutely crazy. You see here as they're up 56-53 at this point.
Peyton Shell.
Yeah. Peyton Shell.
I love watching him.
He just comes up big. He's one of the best players in the state. We talk about this piece, but then Minot High won on a big run where they outscored him, pretty much scored all the rest of the points, finishing out that game and win 71-57. I don't know if they just ran out of gas, Minot North. It's when you're keep that intensity up for so long like that, man, and sometimes it's hard to just stay that high. And Minot, give them a lot of credit. They're number 2 in the West region and number 3 in the state for a reason, because they are such a good basketball team and a senior-led team. I think they have, 8 or 9 seniors on that basketball team, and just great kids, and they just willed themselves to victory at the end there.
I don't know what's more constant in the great state of North Dakota, the wind or Eric Winchesky taking charges. Either way.
That's
and then our next matchup was the number 3 seed Bismarck Demons taking on the Dickinson High Midgets. This was a tough draw for Dickinson High because the Bismarck High and Coach Wilhelm up and down, death by 1,000 cuts, press, 5 in, 5 out, and they showed that last night.
Well, they did, and I think that's what the difference of the game was, is Bismarck's depth. I mean, they were up 27-10. You're going to see some huge threes early on. Carlo hits a couple big threes. Bieber comes in. He hits 4 threes in a row, and all of a sudden it's 27-10 before you can blink, and there's one of the first of Bieber's as he hit that one, and Bismarck High is just going crazy. That's what they do. When they're hitting threes, they go on runs, and give Dickinson all the credit in the world, because they hung in there as Bismarck's up 20-7-10, and you're going to see some more here, as that was another one of Bieber's 3 from the left wing this time. And all of a sudden you blink, Dickinson stayed in it. They're back 31-30 right there. They didn't finish the half out very well. That was a good finish by the Demons, including a big hit at the end of the half. I would imagine you're going to be in one of your highlights.
Glosser.
Yeah, Glosser, top of the key. That started the second half, where Bismarck was up 15 at half. Dickinson came right back in it, tight, got the game really tight. A lot of ebbs and flows in that basketball game.
Look at that hustle, though.
I mean, and that's
what makes or breaks
it. It is. That's absolutely right. That's Eagle staff off the bench making a hustle like that. And Bismarck High, again, game was close, but down the stretch, you turn to your leader and another All-Stater, and Andre Austin, and he just...
The fans loving it.
Fans going ape right there. And then, the Demons, again, they played great defense down the stretch. There's a big basket inside. Couldn't see who that was.
Boston Cranston.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Cranston again, and he played a huge second half. Didn't score in the first half. Ends up with a 16, I think, or 18 in that game. So Dickinson showed why they're a great team, and Bismarck High, that was a hard-fought win for the Demons right there, and they're fortunate to win by 10, 81-71.
Well, the good news for everybody watching this at home, you'll have the opportunity to watch all these games right on PSP Plus. All you have to go is go to psp.network. Right there, you have an opportunity to make that purchase. But we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, more words from Chuck and I live here from the Civic Center. Thank you.
So Carson, how do I become a great football player like you?
Well, practice and having a professional team to answer the call and handle anything you throw their way is also important.
Hey
Carson. Thanks for teaching crew about community banking at First Western. First Western, you can bank on us.
The Jersey Mike's catering box is the easiest way to feed your friends. The hard part is picking your sub. That's why we're having a draft. With the first pick, Sarah from Carolina selects number 13, the original Italian.
You know, I trusted my gut, and that's exactly where the sub's gonna go, so.
Hold on, we've got a trade. Jake traded his second pick with me, because I'm starved. Freshly sliced subs to go, wherever you and your friends go. Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
For those who dream big, Ackerman Estvold is here with the latest tools and innovations to design smart. Our team of architects and engineers carefully plan every step of construction, making it possible to build bold. And most importantly, we know how valuable it is to give back, ensuring our communities continue to thrive for generations to come. That's Ackerman Estvold.
Hey, there you are. Thank you for joining us here on PSP Prime. My name is Dallas Hanson, right along here with Chuck Claremont, live from the Bismarck Civic Center. Look at that beautiful court behind us. Can't beat it. Chuck, this AA senior boys division is, I was talking to Darren Matter about this, probably one of the best senior classes we've had. Your thoughts on that?
It is. And when you talk about senior athletes of the year, holy cow, that voting, I don't want to be part of that because, man, there's going to be some probably disappointed kids because there's so many kids out there with, and every single team's got somebody from Century with Kemple, Mandan, Sheldon, Jamestown, Newman, Minot, Winchesky, and Shell, Bismarck High, Andre Austin, Dickinson's got kids. I mean, so it's going to be a tough vote. There's so many great senior leaders in this West Region basketball, and we're getting a chance to see him right here in this on PSP Plus.
Well, don't forget about the youth, and even the girls' side, there's a lot of great youth as well. But we're going to talk a little bit about the bracket. But before we get to the almighty bracket, also make sure you join us tonight on PSP Plus, and then we've got some nice plays we want to share with everybody at home right about now. And let's talk a little bit about these top plays.
18, 32-14. Bad math on my part. Tip pass there by Kramer. Jay's trying to get it down low to Perkins. A lob for Kinnebrew! Send it! Run it down to 10 to shoot. Schaefer, post up Shell. Shell will turn and fade. Oh, and Ian's come alive here late.
14 points, and that's absolutely crucial right now.
Falcon from downtown.
Absolutely, bang. Wow. There was no.
Newman leans in, missed it. Rebound thrown out. Now they had a steam. Here comes Campbell. He will rise up and send it down for a two-hand slam dunk. Yeah. And in. Sheldon wants to attack. Outside Kirky. Hello.
Woo. Mr. Kirky, welcome to the WD. From line at high to 3.
Shell is kind of came out of nowhere. Whoa. Return to sender.
He might have been able to grasp, but just Bachmeyer just didn't have a good angle to shoot that layup.
Yeah, good contests at the point of attack there. Schaefer sets him down. He locks and loads and buries. Laven with the hesitation. Helm with the step in. Reversal to Blickery. Wow. He is on fire.
Bang, bang.
Andre evaluates to the near side and Bondley. Corner again. There's a 3 by Grant Beaver, and he's 1 for 1 from beyond the arc.
33s now in the season for
Hammond again. Great ball pressure here, but Austin's going to get by him in the end and go to the right hand, makes Hammond pay.
Yeah, he had
high school bull rider in North Dakota.
Nice.
Behind the pride of Arnie guard, Zane Wagner.
Impressive.
Ball down 3 at the buzzer. Najee Boyd steals the spot.
Probably turnover.
Oh boy, they get it to Doug Sheldon down to 5. Weigel attacking. Leans in over the defense.
No time.
Through your mind.
Well, when we were in the huddle, I was like, Parker, when we get this stop, you come and get this ball and run off our screens and you're hitting this last shot. And then I realized Parker was already down the floor.
March Madness at its finest, my friend. We're just watching those plays, taking it all in. You go, look at Weigel talk. I mean, what would you be saying if you just hit the game winner in a tightly contested WDA tournament? You get and it's got to be a great feeling because you work so hard in the summer. You do all these things. Then you get some few bad injuries like Legacy had. Parker Falcon's lifting weights. Something happens to his leg. Oh, no, what are we going to do? They go up to Minot, get blown out. Oh, no, the season might be over. Coach Horner says, hold the phone. We still got a team here. They don't practice, like you said, in a while. And then they come out with a and hats off to Mandan. Yeah. They played fantastic. But you come out and you win, and Weigel hits a game winner. That is the best, and that's why the game of basketball is fun.
Those guys that's things they dream about, and that highlight reel was amazing. You saw some crazy athleticism on some of those kids. I mean, alley-oop dunk to Gibson Kinnebrew. Kemple, that's the first dunk that I've seen him this year in terms of him getting up, and so many athletic plays and moves inside to the open three looks, and so many great things. You know, hats off to our production team and our camera guys for getting those amazing shots right there, and a great job pulling that together because I could watch that time and time again going back. That's the great thing about replays. We can go back and watch it as many times as we want.
Well, don't forget, tonight we're going to be right here again at the conclusion of all the games, right on PSP Prime on YouTube. But make sure you join us on PSP Plus. All you have to do to order that is go to psp.network. Now let's talk about tonight, because there is a lot of good basketball yet to be had, specifically on the boys' side. We covered the girls. Let's talk about that first loser-out game where you and I will be on the call. Looking forward to doing that with you, my friend.
It's
fun to call a game with a legend like yourself. Jamestown and Mandan. Okay, yesterday, Jamestown, they've got some talent, but they're going against a Mandan team who you know is going to be hungry after yesterday's loss.
Well, they are, and it's going to be tough. How are you going to recover after that loss as well? Hopefully, from a Mandan's perspective, they come out ready to play and ready to play hard. They split during the regular season, so it's not something that – and they split actually the regular season the last 3 years. So it's a Jamestown team figures they match up well against Mandan, and so they're coming into that game. I think they're feeling like, hey, we got an absolute chance to get through this loser-out game and get a chance to play in that play-in game for state. So I think that's going to be a great matchup. Two of the best scorers in the state, Newman and Hudson Sheldon. So I would expect you're going to see some points scored. I would imagine you're going to get 70s a plus in that game. So I think it's going to be a good game for us to call.
Yeah, I'm excited. Then we'll be on the next one, the next loser out. And again, reminder for everybody at home, you lose this one, you're done. You pack up the bags, you can turn in the jerseys. Minot North, who played very nicely yesterday against Minot High, against Dickinson, who showed some comeback. They showed some strength. I've had the pleasure of covering Dickinson a lot this year. They're a good basketball team.
They absolutely are. And the thing yesterday is I don't know if they got tired too, because they've got 5 great starters, 4 more in double figures yesterday. They've won both games against North this season, so clearly they're very confident playing this Minot North team. But, hey, Minot North, there's no moral victories with a loss, but they got to know we played really well against one of the best teams in the state. There's no reason to think they can't match up well against Dickinson tonight and this afternoon, at 2:45.
Oh, and then, Chuck, we got the semifinals. Let's go right here on PSP Plus. Century and Legacy, Mattern versus Horner, Falcon versus Kinnebrew. What more else do you want?
Well, a great matchup. Century's had their numbers. Century's won 9 straight. They played last year as well in the West Region tournament where Century won by 7, 60-53. So Legacy's got, hey, they got a little bit of chip on their shoulder. They have not beat this team for a number of years. So it's going to take everything they got to beat this Century team because they have so many kids that can score on that team, as you talked about, Kemple and Kramer and Gibson Kinnebrew and Nisley. They are loaded off the bench as well. So it's going to be a hard-fought game, but Century surely has if you're going to put a favorite, Century's got to be favored in that one.
And then, the nightcap. Minot High versus Bismarck High. Dean Winchesky, you know his teams come out to play when they don't play as well as they did yesterday. But Coach Wilhelm, it feels like they're starting to kind of go on the up and up at the right time.
Yeah, they're surely gelling. They've had a great season so far. But Minot, speaking of having numbers, they've had Bismarck's numbers. They beat Bismarck 10 of the last 11 times, including last year's championship right here in the West Region, where they beat them 69-63. So somehow Bismarck's going to have to get over that hump to say, how do we beat this Minot team? And Minot, how do they recover, how are they going to recover after that? They had guys playing a lot of minutes yesterday against Minot North, and we'll see how quickly those legs are going to heal in a day. But, I get for Minot, strong senior leaders on that team. That's such a key. When you got the 9 seniors that they've got, they're going to come out ready to play, and it's going to take everything Bismarck has to be able to get a victory tonight against Minot.
Well said, my friend.
All right, that was
Can't
awesome.
wait. We're going to be back here tonight, right on YouTube with PSP Primetime, but make sure you join us on PSP Plus. All you have to do that is to go to psp.network. There you have a selection of games. And hey, guess what? It's not just WDA boys and girls. We got excellent Class B coverage, Class A, both boys and girls, so make sure you join us on there. Thank you for joining us today on behalf of PSP crew. Myself is Dallas Hansen, Chuck Claremont, Bryce Gutenek, our producer Nick Holberg. Thank you. We greatly appreciate your time, and we will see you on PSP Plus. Thank you.
Chad and I have over 60 years combined experience in the field. Not only are we writing estimates, talking with customers, we're in the shop working alongside of our team members.
I've always had a very strong passion for repairing vehicles. I've been doing it since I've been in high school, and I've always enjoyed seeing the vehicle repaired back to their original conditions.
Thank you for the opportunity to serve the Bismarck-Mandan community for the last 7 years. We look forward to expanding into our new addition to better serve our customers, Centennial Collision and Paint.